he looks back at the cabin, and he sees something right here. And he said it was two glowing red eyes that were as tall as the cabin. He said it was a little bit under.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 8.5 feet right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he said they're 8 feet tall. I mean, there's something standing here, 8 feet tall.
And Garrett was standing next to you at the feeder over
He was
there.
standing next to me at the feeder with a gun in his hand, with a floodlight on his head. And he looked back down the trail through like sea fog, pitch black, no moon in the sky.
Yeah.
It was a new moon.
And all you could see is the cabin
And
through
all he could see was
sea fog.
glowing red eyes underneath this cabin for like 2 seconds. It was enough for him to say, "Hey, there's something underneath the cabin." I like put down the corn. I looked back and it was gone. And then literally wherever this thing was standing, which was right here, they put the axe in the trail with the butts facing straight up to block the trail. And it was standing right here, looking at us. I mean, it was staring right at us. Literally, we walked back there 2 minutes ago. It literally followed us around this way. He must have grabbed the axe.
Yeah. The axe is always buried in the top of a stump.
Somehow looked back at the cabin.
Yep.
And saw him put the fucking axe in the trail, and then he was just staring at us for like 2 seconds, and it blinked out. It was gone.
Did he see him actually put the axe in the trail?
No, he literally. By the time he looked back at the cabin, the eyes were just staring straight down the trail at us, and then it just shut off. It was just sea fog straight. You see how daunting sea fog is.
Oh yeah.
The only thing he could see is like a glimmer of the cabin. And two glowing, like literally self-illuminating, glowing red eyes.
Yeah. I've seen those eyes close up, buddy. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and that's close. I mean, that's fucking 60.
The tribe of 7, they were all lined up in front of the cabin right here, like soldiers, all lined up in a row.
And we didn't even see the axe until I got to that back tree over there. I was walking first with a gun in my hand, and I was like, "What the fuck is that in the trail?" I looked down the trail. This is kind of overgrown at this point, but. I was like, what the fuck is that in the trail? It looked artificial, and it was. It was a big butt of an axe, which we talked about. We walked around it. It was sticking out of the stump right there. And I was like, watch out, there's an axe right there. And we walked around it to walk down the trail. I mean, Garrison's holding an AR-15 with 2 hands. He didn't pick it up. He didn't pick it up to fucking, slam in behind us. He had no reason to, He don't fuck around like that.
No. Well, they told us that when we used the talking board, and I came right back up here the next weekend, Jeff. I was mad. I was mad because
I got right here, and I'm like,
I thought the tribe was making threats on you.
I turned around to Garrison. I'm like, dude. I was like, you can't fuck with me. I was like, you have to tell me right now. I was like, did you do this? And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, I wouldn't do this. He's like, we're literally holding it in our hands. I was like, okay. I was like, but. We argued for like a couple minutes there. I'm like, you got to tell me, because if you didn't do this, there's something up here with us. I was like, and then we got to get up to the fucking cabin. So we're like, all right, fuck that. I was like, I'm just not even going to touch this. I walked over and I fucking walked up to the cabin, and that was it. We barred ourselves in there for the rest of the night. And literally, when we got to the stairs, we heard something behind us scream, like at the top of its lungs, like a banshee. And it sounded like shit just getting knocked over and pissed off. And we're like, all right, we're getting the fuck up there. I was like, I don't feel comfortable even being in the cabin. I was like, let's just go up on the roof. We'll turn our floodlights on and get our rifles in our hand. We'll just sleep up there. And guess what? We didn't sleep all time until the sun came up. Because it walked around the cabin. Like, where your light is, where it ends, right there. It was 10 feet behind that. Walking around the cabin all night long. Like... behind us, that
Till
way,
the sun came up.
Till the sun came up. I mean, it circled it. Literally making a whole 300-yard circle.
Like it's crazy or something.
Like it's crazy. And it was knocking trees over.
Like it's just...
not sticks.
What's the word for it?
It sounded like trees. I can hear them crackle for like seconds. Like...
Yep.
And then slam, and you can hear the cabin vibrate.
And if you go look...
Fuck no, we didn't go look.
Well, if I've gone and go looked at the next morning. There's no. I can't see no trees broken over.
It sounded like literal, like that tree falling over, being pushed over like a dead tree.
Yep.
That weight and just slamming.
I know.
It's fucking.
It's happening in another dimension.
I mean, I'm sure it's out there. I mean, there's thousands of trees in a 300-yard perimeter, but
Well, I had the same thing, pushing trees over like crazy, and I go out there next morning. I couldn't really peg one tree that it could have pushed over.
that's sketchy. I mean, that's like for something. Have you ever tried? You've tried to push a tree over, like a 6-inch tree,
Yeah.
6 feet high. Like I can't even push that over. You know, something out there pushing trees over.
I don't think it's Bigfoot.
Like it's big enough to do that, and to scream and like the woman screams I've heard before. I mean, there's animals out here that make screams.
Yeah, panthers and
Yeah, there's shit out
bobcats.
there that makes it sound like a woman scream, you know, whatever. But like the growls, I mean, when I called you, we are hearing it every like you can count down from like 45. There was growls that I've never heard before. Like I've been coming here 30 years. You know, I've never heard growls that sounded like my fucking
Yeah.
sleep paralysis demon. You know, like it was the craziest shit, and it sounds like it's 300 yards away.
It rattles you inside.
It sounds like fucking Stranger Things, you know, fucking the most dynamic shit I've ever heard.
It rattles your freaking
You know,
your
it's like,
organs.
there's fucking bears and there's boar and there's fucking panther and all this shit will growl
Yeah.
if it's being threatened or trying to scare you away, but not for 7 hours straight. You know, every 45 seconds or something growling
know.
out there.
It's like, what is the word for it?
Like the most dynamic, evil.
No.
Like it sounded like evil shit. Like the stuff that.
Yeah, but
people
what would
make
be the
in
word
movies.
for something that does something repetitively over and over and over again? It just doesn't stop. Like when it came up and down the stairs of this cabin all night long, up
Yeah.
and down the stairs, it wouldn't stop. Like, what the hell is that? There's a psychiatric word for that.
I mean, it was like
It's insane.
I've never felt threatened. Not one time have I ever come up here and felt threatened. Like I have never been in control. Like it's always been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario. There's always
Here to teach you something.
it's here to teach you something. I was like, holy fuck! Like the time we saw a UFO in the woods over there, and I literally saw it from the ground floor move and then shoot off into the fucking sky with like 6 of us standing on the porch watching it for a half an hour. I mean, like that's crazy shit. But I've never felt like I shouldn't be here, you know, like something's telling me to fucking get out of here. Like you don't belong here. Like you better fucking leave. Or
What
something's gonna
is
happen.
it? I mean,
don't
it's
know.
not a panther.
I've never felt like that ever before up here. And that was the first time ever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Nothing. There's nothing I know of that can make me feel like that.
Well, whatever it is very bad, and whatever it is being kept at bay,
Like there was
or something is protecting you
there
from
was
it.
some talking to some primal instinct inside me to like Garrison. When I turned around and we were talking and he saw like the axe and we started hearing like the growls and
Yeah.
like, screams behind us. I've never seen that man shake before. Like me and him were like shaking with an AR-15 in our hand. Like you don't shake with an AR-15.
Garrison's a pretty big guy too.
He's a big fucking dude. The dude works out
He
every
looks like
day. I mean, he's not scared of
Hans, the Russian wrestler.
me either. Like, what man shakes with an AR-15 in his hand? I mean, it just don't happen, you know. Like there is something inside of you. Like we need to get the fuck out of here. Like,
We
doesn't
should,
matter
we should
what it
probably
is.
stop talking about it and go back to work.
What?
We should probably stop talking about it and get back to
Yeah.
work.
It's just it's crazy. I've told you the story before. Not like
Yeah.
here. It's a different perspective. Actually being here and fucking feeling it. Here, it just feels. I feel like I'm inside of like a movie set or something. It's really strange. feeling
Yeah, it's
out
been
here.
quiet for 2 days.
There's like floodlights and it's quiet. There hasn't been. I haven't even heard a bird chirp for like 2 days.
Not a bird chirp, not a hog, nothing, not a deer.
It feels like almost like synthetic.
Synthetic.
It's
It's
like
really
I'm gonna wake
strange.
up and like we didn't even start on the staircase yet.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, what is going on right now?
Like what? I mean, we're like inside 50 square miles of forest right now, and I don't hear a bird or an insect or nothing. It's kind of weird.
Yep. And it's not the kind of vacuum thing that's like is like concerning me.
The moon's
It's
gone.
puzzling. Is the moon up? It's not. It's
You
like
hear that?
what? Yeah, That's the first animal I've heard,
First animal I've heard so far.
and it's just squeaking.
I don't think I've ever heard something like that either. Right? You ever heard that before?
I don't know why it's all of a sudden squeaking like that. It's kind of weird.
It sounds like electric.
Electric.
Doesn't it? I don't know how to describe it.
Well, yep.
It sounds like there's some kind of electricity behind it.
Fucking crazy.
Look through your thermoscope. You hear it? It's like there's something else over here. It sounds
Yeah.
like it's beaming off of it.
Come on up in the stairs and hold my phone. I'll get the thermal. Watch your step on those stairs. Remember, they're not. Some of them aren't nailed down. We're building a staircase
Get a
here.
feel for it. This is super comfortable. I mean, this is like
It's amazing.
so easy. Let me get these other stairs put in.
Here,
You hearing
it's
this?
already filming.
This is like super crazy.
It's gonna stop when I go to look at it.
I've never heard something like that before.
If it stops, it's paranormal. Oh. Yeah, there's something out there.
Literally, like as we're talking about it, I haven't heard of one sound all weekend.
Okay, now looking with the thermal, it's gonna stop. And it stops. Right?
There's something out there.
There's something glowing right there. But it's being blocked by some of the
It
trees.
sounds like a bird, but
Yeah.
it sounds like there's like an echo or something. I don't know how to describe that.
Whatever it is, as soon as I pick up the thermal,
It sounds like two animals talking, you know? Like I've never heard something like that. You ever heard like two animals trying
oh,
to
yeah,
communicate?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've heard, yeah.
Sounds like a bird talking to like a fucking raccoon or something.
A couple weekends ago, me and Vince were up here. It sounded like two people. We described it: two people talking in a gymnasium, and you couldn't understand the words they were saying.
It is kind of like an echo, like you're inside like a stadium or something. Oh, there you go, it's gone.
Yeah, like it's inside of a gymnasium.
For a forest, it is kind of like weird how shit echoes out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Make sure you're holding on.
Hmm?
Always holding on when you're standing down that staircase.
oh no. So when you start talking about shit and you start getting on that weird, like energetic level,
Yeah, I know.
it starts spawning shit.
Oh, that phenomenon is known all over the world.
Here it goes again.
You got your video thing upside down.
Hmm?
Turn it around.
Yeah, it's
The red is supposed to be at the top.
That's right
Turn
side.
it around, Jeff. There you go.
Yeah.
Good thing you didn't filming anything that was good.
Huh?
Yes, the numbers are supposed to be at the top.
What is that? Oh, there it goes.
And make sure you got your fingers in front of the lens. If you put your fingers on the left, see over there?
Mhm.
That's a